So we'd like to say a big hello to our lovely friend, our Wonderbirds honorary Wonderbird, the gorgeous Debbie Paver. Come in, Debbie.
Hi.
How are all of you?
Hello.
Three Debbies in a D.
That's right. Yes.
It shouldn't be too difficult, should it? What do you think, Debbie? What do you think, Debbie?
It goes D, double D. I don't think there's a triple D cup, though, is there?
No, not yet. Well, no.
And then 4G, or is it 4G? Oh, yeah.
I think that's internet, isn't it? I hope.
Exactly.
No.
Oh, Debbie, it's so lovely to see you again.
Yeah, you too. You too.
Yes,
I've been behind you. I love those two little people behind you. They're fabulous.
Thank you. Our little friends.
Absolutely. They're great.
Thank you very much. Tell me, because I've been hearing great things about your charity work with children with cancer.
Yeah, I mean, I as I've said many times before, our foundation started the year after my mother-in-law died, and it was her heritage, what she left behind, and we put in, a big sum of money. We put in 2.2 million from the business, from her estate, from the business, to start this foundation, and we all on the committee. I feel very honoured to be on the committee. It's represented by three of the boys, her sons, so three family members. We have a chairman who used to work for the company who comes in and does all that for us, and then we've got the office and all the administration side, they're involved, and all the sales side from the shops are involved as well. So we have there's 9 of us that sit down and decide who we want to give things to. And obviously we all have local charities that we give to as a family, but all our staff submit applications for people that it's not anything other than our staff. It's all led by people, our colleagues, people that work with us and for us, that lead it. So they send in applications for people that they feel that need help, whether it be community, health or education. They're the 3 categories we give them. So, they can do that, but that's sidestepping slightly. What we do as a family, we are given a lump sum that we can give to charities that we feel really need it. And right from the onset, mine has been children with cancer. And they've had small amounts from me as we've gone on, because I've not won each year, but this year I won. So they got a big dollop, which thank goodness has gone to their amazing work in Great Ormond Street, and the research that they do, and the background knowledge from the people that work. I'm going all shivery already. What they actually physically do, not just give money to, they give their time and they give them in person to all these children and all this thing. It's just, children are our future, aren't they? What do we do without the future generation?
Absolutely. And I think I told you, David, my granddaughter has had leukemia twice.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
Yeah, and she's going through treatment again. And but in 6 years, they've advanced so much.
Incredibly.
It's amazing. So, we were horrified and shocked, but when it came back. But actually, do you know what? We know that she's going to be all right because of the wonderful research. And as you say, the time they've spent.
Yeah, there's only a couple of childhood cancers now that they're finding very difficult to research into to improve, but the majority of them, they're on with it, and it's really improving. They're getting amazing results from it. Children that 20 years ago would have died are not.
Yes.
They're surviving, coming through it, and they're living, and you just think, thank goodness for technology. It isn't just when they're in the hospital, it's the research behind it all, the stem cell research and everything else that they do that is just terrific. Ring that bell when they come out, and it's like,
my nephew actually had a stem cell transplant. Wow. And he's with us and has just got married, and his wife has just told us she's pregnant. And I think particularly when you've been involved with that sort of thing in your family, and then as you say, the staff are amazing. It's giving up their time. They give up their lives, don't they? This is their vocation, their passion. They're so kind. And my nephew was in the Royal Marsden for 9 months. And, those nurses, even after he left, kept in contact. How are you doing? You know, because it was a few years before he kind of got his meat back on his body, is how I'd explain it, you know. So it's wonderful that you do this, because it really makes a difference, particularly with the research.
Yeah, it's so important. It's so important that we give that time and effort and funds, because they can't do it without the funding.
No, exactly.
Funding.
Oh, thank you so much for doing that. And Debbie, I know that now Pavers is 51 years old, isn't it? 'Cause it was, and I remember you telling us how that all started with a loan for a sofa or something like that.
No, that was your mother-in-law who left that legacy there.
Yeah.
2.1 million.
Yeah, absolutely. It was you know, the loan for the sofa, £200, because they wouldn't give her a loan to start a business because she was a woman. Yeah, crazy. And I remember telling me that her father gave her a purse with a penny in it and said, you know, this is good luck. This purse will bring you luck. Obviously, it certainly did. But as a woman, I felt very privileged to have met her. She was formidable. Goodness me, she was totally formidable. But she wouldn't take a no from anyone. And she just persevered and persevered and persevered. And she got exactly where she wanted to be. And she, even though she was a hard taskmaster, she was, I think women at the top are harder than men at the top, personally, but she's multifaceted like women are. You know, we give birth, we think about all sorts of things at once. We use both sides of our brains. Men are very black and white, in my opinion, in the way they do things. She was an all-rounder, and she got everybody on side. And everybody used to call her, you know, everybody was like, oh, it's Mama. We went abroad and you'd go to all the factories. Mama's here. And it's like, everybody's like, oh, you know, tighten your belts. So she'd tell them if they didn't look right. Well, you don't look very good today. Straighten your tie. You don't look, you tell everybody off in a really nice way, because she was such a proper lady, and got us where we are, you know, and the boys took it up there.
When you came into the family, were you a shoe girl? I mean, most of us are.
Well, I had a fair number of pairs of shoes, yes, because we all are into shoes, aren't we?
Have you ever counted them? How many you've got now?
I'm not counting them now.
Because I've got loads, so I think, well, you must have even more.
Yeah, no, I do adore shoes. But I tell you what, the older you get, the less time you're wearing the high ones, I feel. So I used to wear them all the time. And I wear flats for walking in and flats for sort of doing things that I need to do with support. But I'm a real pioneer for certain shoes, that because I think give people support in the feet. And as you get older, we all wear stupid shoes in our youth that ruin our feet. And that's the reason we have to wear the ones that we wear when we get older. But I still do wear the stupid shoes. Yes, I do. If I go to a function or something, but my feet kill.
Your shoes. Okay, so I've got these shoes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
the clogs.
Yeah.
And they're very high.
Yeah.
And normally I can't walk in clogs and high, but these, it's like walking on air.
They're comfortable, aren't they? Well, they're little holes in them. They're really pretty. Yeah, we did like a rose pink and the whites, and I think we had a dark colour, either black or navy. I can't quite remember, but really nice. I'm glad you like them.
Well, the other day we were all out together. Debbie, obviously, Debbie D and me. Strangely enough, and this is getting ridiculous, isn't it? Really, I think now we're going to change the name of the show from Wonderbirds to Debbie or D. I mean, it's just makes more sense. No, Debbie and I were talking. Debbie, the other Debbie. Oh, I'm going to have to call you something else. What's her name over there? Blondie. And you were talking about the shoes that you were wearing that night, weren't you? About the height of them, that they weren't as high as the ones you wore normally. You were saying you changed your mind about wearing very strappy ones, stilettos or something.
Well, because I just now, I want to be more comfortable. And I'm not as comfortable in my high shoes as I was when I was younger either. So,
I mean, the thing is on stage as well, where we have to wear high shoes and we can't get away with wearing, really wedges. I just train myself. That's what you have to do. You just got to wear them for an hour one day, 2 hours the next day, and then you can actually get back into that. But I just wear flats most of the time anyway, because I'm zooming. I zoom.
Well, I think lockdown didn't help us, ladies. Did it?
Yes.
there's no way you wear a stiletto or a high heel walking around the home doing your washing up or whatever. So,
Yeah.
It depends what sort of,
Yeah,
it depends what sort of life you lead.
absolutely. But generally, for nearly not more than 2 years, we wore flat shoes. We wore trainers. So now what we found at Pavers is the trend is flat and trainers. So we sell more flat and trainers than we sell anything else. So the heels a bit of selling, but they're very slow. The glamorous, elegant heels are much slower than they ever were, being taken over massively by pumps and moccasins and slip-ons and casuals and toe posts, and the big one, trainers.
Yeah,
Outside anything else. All the girls now, they're wearing glamorous clothing and they've got trainers on.
Well, I remember many years ago, probably about 20 years ago, I went to an event in London and Stephanie Beecham was there, and she looked absolutely fantastic. She wore this beautiful evening gown and she lifted her dress up and she had trainers underneath. And it was so shocking. It was shocking. It was like, really?
And now they're all doing it, aren't they?
Yeah.
When I was in London at the weekend, I went to see Adele and Gabrielle, and it was incredible. And everybody had trainers on.
Yeah.
You know, it was just, you had to, in Hyde Park.
Yes, absolutely.
But
I do think you're right, Debbie P. A lot of it has come from lockdown because everybody was in their trainers and flat shoes.
And we learned massively online, especially in lockdown, because obviously all the shops were closed. Everything's closed.
And also because a lot of, kind of big celebrities, like even Helen Mirren, was seen in glamorous wear with her sneakers on. Well, if she can do it, so can I. I mean, I went to an opening night of something in the West End last year in a very nice Italian trouser suit, but I had big white trainers on. And I actually didn't feel odd. I thought I would because I'm such a high heel girl, but I didn't. But can I just ask one question that's always interested me, having been a shoe queen all my life, is that, when the heel size changes, some years it's a really big high 6-inch stiletto, and then it'll be a chunky, and there's quite a few chunky sandals I've seen around at the moment. So who decides on that? When you're doing new ranges, how do you know what's coming in that year?
I think that there's a start, in colourways with housewares, etc. fashion, there's like a style council. It's done by the big designers, basically.
Right.
They sort of lead it and everybody else follows. So when you go to, we've just been to the shoe fair in Lake Garda, which is a year ahead. So we're looking at next summer. And next summer, very similar to this summer, really. Heels are like a kitten heel, but taller. A lot of them are see-through. A lot of them are sort of looking like perspex, different colours as you go from the base of the heel up. And it's this shape heel, like a vase almost.
Mm.
A lot of very, very bright, vivid colours, and tons of moccasins on a very high platform, sort of this high, all the way along on the same level, with the crocodile teeth base. And a lot of white soles. So uppers of every colour you can imagine, but white soles. And tons of sneakers in very, very bright colours. But predominantly, I would say, lots of sherbety colours, but lots of bright, but also lots of white. Very little dark. So lots of bright colours. That's for next summer. So trending-wise, we're still looking at the white sole being the one thing that's carrying us through. Right before lockdown, it started with the white sole. And I remember us thinking, oh, that won't sell.
Well, Debbie, thank you so much for coming to join us. We love seeing you. You must come back as a guest on our show again soon, because we love that. Or as a panelist. I mean, whenever we're a Debbie short, but
good idea. It's been lovely, girls. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been
It's a pleasure, darling.
Lovely
Thank
to
you.
see you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Debbie.
Bye.